Welcome to this ICF Slalom podcast episode, part of the series running until the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. We bring you the inside stories from around the globe from the people who make canoe slalom so special. Here's your host, John Gregory.
A warm welcome to our 8th and final episode of this special daily series. Thanks for joining me this week. We endeavoured to bring you a short daily episode guiding you on what to expect at the ICF 2025 Canoe Slalom and Kayak Cross World Championships, and with a recap on the last day's racing in Penrith, Australia. For this wrap-up episode, I'm joined by American Mike Knopp. In the last day's competition in Penrith yesterday, we witnessed the women's and men's kayak cross head-to-head. We congratulate our new 2025 Kayak Cross World Champions, Olympic silver medalist and now world champion Angèle Hug from France and Joe Clark from Great Britain, securing his 4th consecutive kayak cross title. I believe the only other time we have had 4 consecutive titles is the Hawkshawners in C2 between 2007 to 2011. It seemed appropriate today to invite founder of RIVERSPORT and chair of the Oklahoma2026 Worlds, Mike Knopp, to share his experience this last week in Penrith and where our appetites for heading stateside.
Thank you, John, for this opportunity to share a note about next year's 2026 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championship in Oklahoma City. I just have to say that it has been really inspiring spending the last few days here in Sydney and at this beautiful Penrith venue and being a part of this 25th anniversary of the Sydney Olympics. You know, Sydney is well known for setting such a high bar and being among the best, if not the best, hosts of the Olympic Games. And this event here in Penrith really, carries on that high bar with the way that they have really staged every aspect of this event as I've watched closely as we prepare for next year. And, I think we see a lot of parallels with Oklahoma, actually, that may be surprising to some. And the culture here in Penrith and Sydney and Australia with the strong focus and tribute to First Nations and the integration of the Aboriginal culture into this event. Oklahoma has the highest population of Native Americans in the United States. We're home to the 5 civilized tribes, and just adjacent to our venue at RIVERSPORT in Oklahoma City is the First Americans Museum. And we look forward to also honoring their important connection to, again, the land and actually the sport. And just as we witness the building of a canoe by in sharing that Aboriginal culture here at this event, we're going to do similar things in Oklahoma City to showcase our Native American First Nations Indigenous culture. So, I also see a real parallel to the wonderful hospitality of Australians and how warm and welcoming they have been to everyone I've seen and to myself during this visit here in Australia. I'm definitely going to want to come back. It is such a wonderful city, such a wonderful venue. And I think it's also inspiring to us to see the legacy of the venue here in Penrith and how it is going so strong from first being introduced at the Olympics in 2000 and here in 2025, having a spectacular world championship and seeing the continuous improvements. It's such a great statement to legacy and how these venues should be handled as they're introduced into the Olympics. And, we're kind of on the other side of that, being that we're going to host the World Championship next year, and that will be a precursor to our venue's role, RIVERSPORT's role in the LA 28 Olympic Games. And so we're tremendously honored to be a part of history and to be taking that event on, 1,300 plus miles away from Los Angeles. But really, this opportunity allows us to make paddle sports, canoe slalom, just the front and center to Middle America, because this will essentially be in 2028 the Olympics for Middle America. And we can't be more excited to be able to showcase the sport in 2028. But first things first, 2026 is very important for us and how this event will be able to, again, introduce so many to our venue and to our city which will also be welcoming people to come train in Oklahoma City and experience, again, our community, our hospitality. We call it the Oklahoma Standard. We are committed to making this event a world-class event, against following the high bar set here in Penrith. And we have several things in store for our event. In fact, it coincides with the 100th anniversary of Route 66. So obviously very important and popular part of American culture. And so we will be integrating that into our event. And of course, most importantly, we're going to get as many people down as we can to showcase the sport, but also introduce the sport to so many people in the United States who may have not been familiar with it, and have several ways to do that. And in fact, we're going to be tying the ticketing to LA28 tickets to buying a ticket, getting a ticket to the World Championship. You'll get a priority ticket if you do come to the Worlds. And so we think it's important to build the fan base to really showcase how awesome this sport is. And we will be doing everything we can to produce an amazing athlete experience and fan experience. And over the winter, as we prepare for next year, we're going to be making several improvements that were part of our plan anyway, even regardless of the Olympics. But it's a great opportunity with the Worlds to get these things in place, which include a refurbishment of our block system, using introducing the Omniflot system into our channels. Scott Shipley designed our amazing course. He did a wonderful job with the very unique course in Oklahoma City, very urban course. In fact, when you're paddling down our competition channel, you're looking straight at our downtown skyline. So we're looking forward to the broadcast that will showcase the venue to the world. And so, with these improvements, we will have those in place by the time that training commences in the spring, and doing a world ranking event, and then doing further enhancements to the venue as we approach the Olympics. But, really the show for next year for us is going to be all about getting this venue ready and being prepared to host just a spectacular world championship, setting the stage for what will be an incredible Olympic Games and our role in Oklahoma City, as we really also bring everything else that you would experience in LA to our community, like the Cultural Olympics. And so we're going to have, it's going to be very unique and historic opportunity. Canoe slalom is going to definitely be put in the spotlight through this. And we look so forward to this honor of hosting the event next year, welcoming people for training in advance of the event, and certainly welcome people to reach out to me as they have questions and would like to learn more. We are very excited to host the ICF Congress that will be accompanying the World Championship, actually starting at the end of the Worlds in Oklahoma City, where we get to welcome the sports leaders to Oklahoma City to conduct their business. And again, just such an honor to have the leadership of the sport in Oklahoma. And again, being able to show off our community, our city, which is going to play such a big role in the next 3 years in paddle sports. But anyway, John, thank you for this opportunity, and we look forward to seeing everyone in Oklahoma in 2026.
That was Mike Knopp, founder of RIVERSPORT and recreational paddler. He spoke to us from the course in Penrith, Australia. With 6 more medals on offer at these Worlds because of the addition of kayak cross individual, the medals were split across 12 national federations, technically 11 plus 1 neutral athlete. However, Czechia, France and Great Britain took 20 of the 36 medals. The consequence of that is that other nations left with fewer medals than they would have aspired to win, or none at all. France finished on top of the Penrith medal table with 5 gold and 2 silver, reinforcing their depth of talent and programme success. So a recap on the new world champions, approximately in order of the week's races. Elena Marks from Switzerland, David Lorente from Spain took the title in the kayak cross individual. In the team races, 2 golds for Czechia in C1 women and K1 women, and France in C1 men and K1 men. Then in the classic slalom, Nico Gestin from France, Titouan Kastrik from France, and Klaudia Zwolinska from Poland in canoe and kayak. Finally, as noted before, World Championship titles in kayak cross head-to-head for Angèle Hug from France and Joe Clark from Great Britain. Many of you also know I keep track of athletes' ages. We had 3 legendary athletes in the finals in their 40s, Mylène Chareau from Spain, Peter Kauser from Slovenia, and Michal Martican from Slovakia, reinforcing the comment made by Danielle Woodward. Actually, Mylène also made the final in kayak cross. The average age of the medalists was 27 years, proving again that those medaling at Senior Worlds or Olympics have been racing for almost 10 years beyond their results as juniors. A year or so ago, I had a conversation with Joe Jacobi, who posed the question whether we would see athletes specialising in kayak cross. That appears to be true, albeit many of the female paddlers in particular are now racing across 3 or even 4 classes. That makes for a busy week. As Mike had identified, it appears that the Penrith Organising Committee had done an exemplary job in building on the Penrith Olympic legacy and engaging the community in all its ways. Congratulations to the Organising Committee, technical officials and 130 volunteers. Thanks to my guest today, Mike Knopp. Super grateful to all the guests who have supported me this week. Danielle, Rob, Sam, Luuka, Mallory, Joe, Natalia and Mike. The album artwork was created by Max Corneau with a photograph of Michal Martican taken by Neil Proctor at the 2015 Lee Valley Worlds. Andy Maddock again provided the start and end of each episode. The bleeps were recorded at the Seu Worlds in 2019 and the Kayak Cross start at Lee Valley Worlds in 2023. I'm John Gregory. Thanks for listening this last week. If you enjoyed the daily podcast series, tell other people, send them a link, like, follow, or write a review. If you need more, read Tori Evaldi's brilliantly insightful and eloquent blog. As mentioned yesterday, my next podcast episode will delve into those paddlers who have won across multiple classes or categories. Thanks for listening.
That's it for now, but please subscribe to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or YouTube and leave a review too. Until the next episode, keep it fast and clean.